Another thing that could not wait. But let me get out of all this stuff. Oh, whoops! Where'd my Twitch go? So I was hoping to do kind of a mini IRC day, but you know what? It's not. There's not enough people. I think there's a bunch of
Watch
people
out.
who are out, and
Yep.
so I think I'm going to just delay it. There's not
A
enough
little bit.
people. I think a little bit. Hope you guys don't mind. But meanwhile, I do have some stuff to show, and so I can show that while we're doing it. While we and we'll plan some kind of IRC thing for next week. We'll see how it goes. But I want to show off if I can. Basically, what I'd like to do today is I'm going to show off some new the new Minotaur class that I did this week. Um, and since I'm kind of wrapping up all the ship broker stuff, I want to try out player ship drones and see where it conflicts. I'm actually curious to see where player ship drones is going to work and where it's not going to work, and that might just help might help everybody to see what's going on. Okay, read your PMs. Okay, I will read my PMs. Who is sending me PMs? Delay community day stream. Yeah, I think I just talked about that. Meanwhile, you could play Lander online. Oh, Lander online. That's awesome. I would love to do that. Okay, maybe I'll do that. That sounds good. Okay, have I read my PMs? Is there something more that I need to read? George, PSD is really outdated. Still uses old penitent sprites. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, really, I'm doing it not so that I can necessarily show off PSD because we already did that, but more for my own, just to see. I'm going to dive into the source a little bit and just to see where basically what it's extending and where I can help to make that easier. I just want to take a look just to see. Um, Okay, so now let me run Transcendence. Check out Arcanon uh, did the new use the new animation for the Stargate, so it's a little bit smoother. Actually, it's a lot smoother. So I think that's pretty cool. Thank you. Let's try. Let me just start from scratch. We'll upgrade my ship. So we'll visit. Basically, the way it works right now is I'm just going to visit a bunch of shipyards. The 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 main shipyard really is. Oh, wait a minute. Where's my music? We always got to have music. The main the battle arena. Battle arena, I think, actually has two shipyards. Um, there's usually a dry dock right here in this Stargate, and I think there's often a dry dock right by the arena. So let's check them both out. Um, I don't. The number of ships that you get is random, so we don't always get the same ships. Let's check out what we get here, though. We got this is the EI 200. I don't know if I showed this off last time. Um, then you can also get a Manticore class, but whatever. We know what the Manticore is like. There's nothing too special about the EI 200. It's really just a it's basically the main thing about it is it just can hold 500 tons, which is way more than more than double what the EI 500 can do. And the trade-off is that it's well, obviously pretty slow, and I believe it has one fewer slots, if not two fewer slots. Two fewer slots than the 500. So the 500 has 10 slots and 200-ton cargo hold. This has 500 tons and 8 slots. So we're kind of trading off slots for cargo. I don't know if that's an interesting trade-off. I mean, part of this release, I'm very close to releasing this version. Part of this release is going to be for you guys to test out and try out and see what's balanced and what's not, and we can talk about it. The other thing I want to talk about later, not quite yet, is I wrote a quick little algorithm for essentially coming up with the hull price of a ship based on its slots and its speed and its built-in stuff. And based on that, you know, I use those calculations to figure out the actual price of the ship. This price of the ship is basically the hull price plus the price of all the devices. So I'll show you guys that algorithm so we can, you know, again tweak it if it turns out that we need to tweak it. Okay, but you know, let's do a quick little, because why not? I'm just gonna let's get 100,000 credits. Let's not be too greedy. What's the difference between these two? This one's got Omni Turbo and this one's got Partisan Turret. Well, let's go for the let's go for the upgraded fancy model. Okay, let's see if this works. So this is confirming that I'm going from my crappy little Sapphire yacht. 80,000 credits. I mean, that's not. I don't know if that's. I haven't. Again, this is something you guys will test. I haven't figured out whether 80,000 credits is reasonable or not for getting this ship. So here's the ship. I got a little Partisan turret. I got nothing else, right? I mean, what else do I got? Cargo hold, of course. I've got. What do I got for armor? I've got R1 deflector and advanced reactive. Okay, well that's good enough. Let's go to the other. You know, I don't know. Maybe this is not that interesting. Let's go fight some stuff, I guess, for just 10 seconds. These guys are easy to kill. Or are they? I guess with an Omni an Omni against Hornets is pretty much. But beyond that, I think that's where it gets. I gotta sneak in. I bet I can hit it between these asteroids. This is crap maneuverability, so maybe I can't. There we go. Look at that. Using cover. Got it. Okay, enough of that. Let's go over here and see if there's anything else. A lot of crazy medical stations. There it is. Let's see what these guys have. They don't have anything more interesting. They just have the same kind of stuff. Okay, fine. Let's search for some Commonwealth stations we can find. Basically, the places that sell ships are Armored Commonwealth Metropolises, the New Victoria Arcology, Commonwealth Fortresses, and then of course these shipyards. Let's go to this fortress at C6. Do all the ships have procedural armor and shield HUDs? It would be nice if there were arrows instead of ships bleed off the edges. Let me just make sure I get the question. First of all, in terms of procedural, I really only did procedural stuff for essentially the ones that we don't have custom armor, custom armor images. So I'm going to leave alone the others. What I'd like to do, but I'm not going to do this in this version. What I'd like to do is come up with a procedural way to that mimics the current look of the armor. Basically, you know how the current one kind of hugs the basic shape. So maybe there'd be a couple of basic shapes: square, triangular, that kind of stuff. And so procedurally, you'd be able to set that up. So you wouldn't have to kind of come up with all the graphic images. That's the direction I'd like to go. But for now, what I'm doing is the original ships just stay the same, and these new ships will have this circular HUD. That's what I'm doing. Okay, let's go find the map. You you're not dead yet. Do I need better weapons? Shields are almost down. Okay, let me just... Oh, map. Whoops, sorry. There we go. I have not added any shipyards to Commonwealth, to black markets. Looks like I'll try to keep the custom HUD images. Yeah, I would keep the custom HUD images because I think they look better than these procedural ones. So I wouldn't want to replace them until the procedural versions are at least as good. So yeah, I please keep your... I totally buy that took a ton of work. Shipbroker. Okay. Oh, militia members. Okay, well, I can fix that. Okay. Oh, I guess I have to do a mission or something. Oh, I hate that. Okay, this won't take long. I could cheat on that too, but I forgot what the actual... Hopefully I'll survive this. These guys are not super... And I'm not totally... Oh, I've got a flancer! Oh, I didn't realize that. Guess I should use that, except my maneuvering is so crappy. It would be nice... Oh, Jesus. Oh, there we go. Ah. I'm almost dead. It would be nice if the shield HUD could get bump maps to simulate custom images. Oh, yeah. I buy that. I buy that. I got no problem doing that. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I would do if we did a new procedural version. But even this version, I think, should have optional textures or something. So I totally buy that. Ah! Run away. You're in for a rough time if you use the Arcade 15. Yeah, no, I know. I'm gonna try it, but you know, these guys like run away, so they're not gonna... Oh my goodness. There we go. And my maneuvering is crap, for obvious reasons. Oh, almost! Oh, I tried to lead him. Oops, nope. Oops, sorry. Clicked on the wrong window. I gotta ignore those guys because I don't need to hurt them. I don't even know if I'm gonna find anything good at this particular Commonwealth fortress, so... Oh, you know, and I forgot, I forgot to add a shipbroker to Point Juno. I should do that too. I missed him. And now, of course, I'm going to run out of fuel. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Let's... helium assembly. That's it. Add item. Okay. Let's refuel. Here come some more guys. I will eventually destroy these guys. can only take so much damage, but they just keep building up. Ah. I need a targeting ROM too. It takes forever to kill Vikings kinetically. Yeah, I think I'm noticing that. Got one. Yeah, I mean they have reactive armor, so it does make sense. I just gotta survive to make it back. And failing that, I'm just gonna try to hit him at long range to see if I can keep him from coming too close. Got him. Almost there. Well, I don't know, this is kind of interesting too, I gotta say. I redid the sprite for the EI200. I did a new rendering. With just it's slightly. I think it looks a little bit smoother, a little bit sharper. I think I showed you guys last time. It's mostly because it's just a different camera perspective. It's much a long lens rather than the short lens of the other one. I got him. Got him at extreme range. Oops, I should avoid this Sapiens guy. Yeah, these weapons are not these. I thought between the the Omni and the enhancement that this would be a pretty decent loadout, but it's not that great. Okay, jeez, good work. Yeah, you think? I'm not going to refuel, I'm going to repair. This does get expensive to repair. Okay. Let's go to Shipbroker. Ah, here we go. Now we're talking. So you get a Centurion. Again, prices, I don't know if these prices are right. You guys will have to tell me. Centurion for trade-in price, 11,000 credits. I think that's pretty reasonable. I mean, the Centurion is not that much crazy. I gotta fix that bug. Centurion is not that much better. It's got blast plate. It's got Tev 9s. That's actually a good bargain at that trade-in price. For the X, it's 134,000 credits, which is not surprising. That makes sense. I mean, this is a pretty crazy ship, and the Minotaur is 240, so 300,000 credits. I think that's reasonable for the Minotaur. I don't know. You'll have to tell me. Let me cheat again. Let's do 300. Okay, and we'll buy this. 200 to that. Buy it. I should have just given that EI 200 to a wingman, but this is better. So this is the Minotaur. It's not super maneuverable, but I did change the speed to 20, so it will go fairly fast. I guess as fast as let's look at our stats. It will go to 20, which is at least as fast as a normal Sapphire. 250 megawatt reactor. Good amount of cargo space, but I think the main advantage. Let's see. I should be able to make short work of these guys. I've got a Mark V howitzer. Let's go to this Auroch Fortress. I've got six segments, an R5 deflector. I probably still should, God, that R5 deflector is really crap, isn't it? Maybe I need to do something better than that. No interior hit points. So one thing that this is, as you can see, it does have a side-mounted, or not a side-mounted, but a linked fire omnidirectional cannon. And in practice, you know, I was talking about maybe having a special key. Whoa, those are nasty. Of having a special key to like fire just that cannon, but in practice, I don't think I need that. Oops. Well, that was predictable. Okay, not as clearly not as good a ship as I thought. Now I'm gonna have to do all this thing over again, but I'm not gonna do the whole thing over again. What I'm gonna do is, oh, actually, oh yeah, I will have to do the whole thing over again. But I won't. Instead, I will go someplace else. I'm gonna go to, hey, stop it. Wow, this guy really is not very good. Okay, I'm just gonna die. Let me see where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna find a starting. White station? No, I want, I don't know what that is. Oh, no, that's something else. Start insignia? No, I want a... There's got to be some startins around here somewhere. Thassalon? No, that's too low level. I want a high level. I haven't done the code to put Point Juno. Point Juno should be another place where you can get the Minotaur. I don't think you can get it at Victoria. Oh, bummer. All right, let me do one more thing then. Let me figure out what it is that I need to be a militia member. I think it's just a setting. Sorry, guys. I think it's just rank. Yeah. NID complement militia rank. And 2B0. B0. Okay, I think that's right. For some reason, I was expecting the Minotaur to look bigger, but I like the sleek look. Yeah, you know, it's funny. I kind of intended it to be a little bit bigger, but when I actually did the design, I mean, that's 84 meters. That's already pretty big. Let's give me some 300. Oh, military ID. That's easy. Okay, let's buy this ship again. So, yeah, the ship is actually quite long. 84 meters, I mean longer than the 200, than the EI 200. But it's just a little skinny, so it doesn't mass very much. The mass is not quite as high. And also remember, scale-wise, remember that as ships get larger, the sprite gets smaller, because otherwise it just would be too crazy. So Question: what would be a good level range for missiles for a given launcher? I noticed that the newer launchers. Sorry, I'm looking up this chat. I noticed that the newer launchers, like those in Part 2, tend to range from X to X plus 2. Having missiles X plus 4 seems not practical without mitigating circumstances, like stations guaranteeing armor, ammo. Yeah, that's totally right. I think there's still room for X plus 4 under special circumstances. You know, in Part 1, I think there are only a couple. I think between the NAMI missile launcher and the MAG launcher, I think those are the only ones, if I remember correctly, that have a really that have missiles that are pretty high level. I think it's okay to kind of have those, a couple of, you know, those really wide range missile launchers where you just really have a wide range, because I think that gives the player and you know, a little bit of an incentive to keep that missile launcher for a while. So I think that's okay, but I don't think every launcher should be like that. I think some of the launchers should probably be mostly, like you said, in the range of, you know, up to 2 levels above the launcher. So that's kind of how I would do it. I would say you're right, but I would have exceptions. The old launchers were made when shops did not have leveled inventories. Yeah, agreed. But I think that's something the shop should fix, if you know what I mean. You know, we still kind of probably only want, like, level 7 missiles should probably only be used at level 5 or so. So shops should have those provisions accordingly. That's kind of what I'm thinking. If today shops, you know, aren't producing the right missiles, I think we can fix the shops, or I think that's how I would fix it. Okay, let me see what I need to do to fix this guy. Because this guy, you'd think this guy would be pretty... I mean, I am kind of high up, but you'd think by the time you get a Minotaur, you should be able to take on these stations fairly easily. And if you can't, then I think it needs... Yeah, see, it just dropped my shield so quickly, so maybe R5 deflectors are really not that great. Not to mention my armor's not doing that great either. Do I have any missile launchers? Oh, I do, but only 2. Didn't do very much. I don't want to get too close when this thing blows up. But on the other hand, I'm about to die. That's interesting. I wonder also if having a large ship like this also makes me vulnerable to just getting hit a lot. I wonder if I should come up with even heavier armor for this. Shields drop fast. Maybe the shield should be swapped for something stronger. The other possibility, and I think this again might be in keeping with the Corvette class, is I could just have stronger armor, but I don't know. That might, you know, currently in the game there's not that much. This is a little bit better. Currently in the game, there's not that much heavy armor, like 20-ton armor, for instance. But there's no reason why this ship shouldn't have 20-ton armor. So it might be interesting to do that, to think about that, to think about what it would take to have this ship with 20-ton armor. I mean, after all, you're buying this ship for a reason. It would suck if this ship is not much better than a gunship. Ammo is balanced by greater level of launcher or ammo. I would say ammo. I would say yeah. I mean, or I guess I would say yes. Whichever is greater, the launcher or the ammo. Um, but it does make me think. I wonder if that's the right answer. That's how I've done it historically. So, wow. See, look at this. Oh no, I'm going right to. Oh, heading into this guy. I gotta run away. I'll hide in the sun. Usually ammo is higher level or same. Yeah, there's some cases where ammo is actually lower level, but I think that's super rare. It's very rare for two of them. You guys. I guess I suck at this. Oh, there's a nice black rogue fleet ship. Okay. Let's see. What else did I want to show? I do have to take notes though, because I still feel like the Minotaur needs a little bit of work. You guys will tell me. Minotaur might need better armor. The other alternative, which I wanted to avoid because I have to change the HUD, but maybe it's not that hard. The other alternative is to add interior compartments to the Minotaur, which I was kind of trying to avoid, but I don't know. Maybe that's okay. Starship Invasion Online. Let's check this out. So this is sorry, let me get this. Yeah, this is there. This is a game that, oops, typo. This is a game that I did, I don't know when. I'm pretty sure this is Turbo Pascal. This would have to be. What's the difference between these? I guess they're all the same. Yeah, 84. So, like the year I graduated high school. I don't even know if this is gonna work. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe this. Can I? Oh, that's too big. This is ridiculous. So this game is basically, it's a real-time version of essentially the old Star Trek, the basic Star Trek games. Okay, cursor keys. Oh my god, I'm gonna not remember any of this stuff. Oh jeez, I have to know all this stuff? Level. First, let's do low level. Speed. How about slow speed? F9. Okay, let's begin. No idea. Blah blah blah, HMS Ranger, blah blah blah. Possible invasion, proceed immediately, investigate. 6 star bases available for refueling. Okay, so I think this is, oh there it is. So I'm moving in the center. This is long range scan. That's me. This is something, I don't know what it is. Starbase? Docked at Starbase. Repair damage? No, I'm not damaged. So, I hadn't realized this, but this really is like kind of a mini version of Transcendence. Meanwhile, by the way, this is the galactic map, or the sector map. I think these guys are enemies. These are stations. These guys are heading towards the station, so I gotta warp. Oh, now I'm being attacked. Now I'm being attacked. Oh, there's no way that I can... That is hilarious. Um, that is totally hilarious. Yeah, so there is... JB Watson asks if there's a download link. Yeah, it's in the Internet Archives. You need a DOS box to run it. I mean, it might run on Windows, but I'd be really surprised. Download. Oh yeah, emulator. Yeah, I don't know. That's hilarious. Then the other one that I think is, there's probably a couple. Oh, there's Anacreon, the old Anacreon. What's Lander? Is Lander this one? These are hilarious. This is also an emulator. This was like my first Windows program. Oh, that doesn't seem to be working. Oh, I don't think this is quite working right. Yeah, this might be, I think if I remember correctly, there's a problem with the timer. I think the timer that I was using doesn't work correctly in emulation. I think that's the problem. That's why nothing's moving. So, oh well. Nice try anyway. Oops. Oh well, that's too bad. Maybe I'll have to do a new version. It's like Transcendence, except the Hornet battle pods are really overpowered. You know, it was actually a lot easier in reality. The problem is in emulation, the clock is sped up. I mean, I did that in '84 for like, I forgot. It's got to be like the 4.77 megahertz CPUs, and it's just on a spin loop. So there were no real clock timers back then, or at least I didn't know of any. So those games, they're super sensitive to the speed of the machine, and on a fast machine, just everything goes 10 times faster. When I built it, machines were so slow that actually you could actually play it, and actually it wouldn't be too crazy. It was actually not that hard to play. Not as hard as I showed it there. Okay. Talking about the Minotaur, either that or 8 armor segments. Yeah, 8 armor segments might be okay, but as you noticed, I mean, I was getting pretty pummeled. Most of my armor segments were damaged. I think part of the size of the sprite also means that I take a lot more damage, which is realistic. So I think that's probably okay, but it does mean that we may need to compensate by having armor with more hit points. So I'm gonna try coming up with, now that we've got this armor system where there's limits on classes and where armor mass like really slows you down, I'm not afraid of adding some heavier armors and just seeing, if we can use them. It'll make these ships more distinctive. It'll increase the difference between, say, this Minotaur and a Sapphire. If the Minotaur can have 20-ton armor. I remember a lot of the old DOS games have timing issues on newer processors. Yeah, absolutely. 5 segments is the middle point between Manticore and everything else. Yeah. You guys we'll know more. But to be honest, I'm not sure I noticed that much of a difference between 6 segments and 4. Um, like I said, especially because it's with fragmentation weapons, I definitely take more damage. So, heavy armor is a lot of HP if balanced. Yeah, I mean that's basically what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 20-ton armor for the Minotaur. Excuse me. Might have double the HP that I do now. You know, and if we have enough, if we have a progression of heavy armors that get used by some of these capital ships, I think that might be interesting. But I don't know. Again, we'll it's something we'll play with. I'll probably try something in this next build coming up, and then we can make some improvements. Okay. I'm still curious to see how PSD will work with this. I don't think I have it here. Let me. I'm not sure what version I've got, but let's go. No, that's not what I want. Transcendence game extensions. Here we go. These are all my extensions. And this is probably fairly old. I don't know what version, if there's a newer version. This is version, let's see what version this is. This is version 7. Is there a newer version of that on Zelarus? I'm amazed that this is not dead yet. Zelarus, I mean. I don't know if it's, maybe it's PSD. Here we go. 7 sounds like the latest version. Okay, that's fine. I'm mostly curious not to, oops, sorry, wrong one. I'm curious not because of player ship drones, but because to see what 1.8, how 1.8 is interacting with player ship drones. So so let's just try it. I plan to update a few more things until I have cleaned up my mod for multiverse, but that will take a long time. Yeah, and part of my exercise. See, we're already finding things that I broke. I broke that, I think. I think that used to be part of corporate command or something. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, I had this. I had this and I deprecated it, and I shouldn't have, I think. Because I didn't realize anybody was using it, but obviously somebody's using it. Oh, so I think this will actually work. I just need to do this. I could probably just do this, and it'll work. PM says, don't change it just for PSD. You know, I actually don't mind. I actually don't mind changing things, because if I broke it, I guess I kind of deserve to change it. Oh man, I've forgotten that there's all this cool stuff. Let's start with basic ships. Yeah, I get these other ones. Now I want to see. Yeah, and PM, please don't think. Um, I'm not trying to pressure you into updating playership drones. So I wouldn't. Don't change your plans because of me. We got plenty of time to update this stuff. Oh, this is so cool. I've forgotten how good this is. Okay, we'll stop with that. Let's go back to. That's only normal player ships. Oh, okay, so I want the whole thing. I want. I want both of these. And I guess I might as well take corporate command just to see what's working. I nuked that screen after I said how cool it was. Well, that's okay. I don't mind if the screen's not there. I'm just thinking there's just so many cool features here. Now that only appears when you want to cheat. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense to me. I love it. Well, obviously this wouldn't change. Where would I forgot? Where did I overwrite your? Because I thought you could buy things here in playership drones, but did I overwrite this? Remind me how this worked. I thought that you could go to a dry dock and buy ships. I just wanted to see how that worked. Okay, so let's just look at some code. You guys don't mind if I show you some code? This is so cool. So many good things. Here it is, shipyard. Spawn player ship drones. Shipyard menu. Where does that get used? Oh, I see. It gets added dynamically. Insert the shipyard option at stations where they make sense. That's in. Where am I? That's on. On global pane init. Got it. So PSD shipyard. So yard data. If we're in cheat mode and we're the player ship and that's what I broke. That's what I broke. Ship status screen. Yeah, this is, sorry, I probably broke that. This is to add the repair option, I think. No, this is wrong. No, it's something else. This is yard data, yard screen. Oh, here it is. This is it. Dry dock. The reason I think it broke then is because And I can fix this again. I mean, I feel bad breaking things. Um, dry dock. Yeah, I took away. There was a DS dry dock here, and I took it away, and I just added this because it basically the the original was fairly short. Um, so I think I just moved it. Okay, so let me just do something really quick because of course I kept it. Let me just make sure I'm in a good spot. Yeah, okay, so I can revert this if necessary, but let's just do this. I'm just curious to see if this is going to work. And what I language? Oh, that's all. I don't need anything else. Okay, and then I can just remove this and go straight to DS dry dock. Eventually, I'll try to use shipbroker to add ships. Yeah, I think absolutely I agree. I mean, eventually, PSD should just add new ships via shipbroker. So I'm just seeing temporarily what would happen. I mean, I might leave it broken. Yeah, so this adds this. Oh, this is so cool. See, I might even like, I don't know. This look is still a little bit better than my look. I might I might think about reverting to your look. Where's Twitch? Here we go. Does Wingman ship switching handle object data on the Wingman ship? No, it does not. It does not. What it should do, let me just think about this. What it should do is there should be an event. There should be an event, and I don't know if there is, I'll have to double check, but there should be an event that gets fired and you'll have to move the data that way if you have that. And also, I want to double check, but by default, I don't believe custom wingmen will upgrade their ships. You have to add code to get that to happen, just because of this thing. Otherwise, I might break old things. I'll double check that because I'm not totally sure. Unit price 60,000. Oops, wrong one. Might as well give me $1 million. Oh, I can trade. Let me trade. Okay. This is a huge ship. I mean, compared to the Minotaur, this is gigantic. And I think if I remember correctly, this is over 100, couple hundred meters, not a couple hundred, but actually we can look, 140 meters long. So this is a giant ship. I mean, this is excuse me, half the size of an aircraft carrier. and way bigger than a 747. So this is a pretty giant ship, and I think it's got interior compartments. 3,000 tons. Jeez, it's pretty spry for a. And what have I got for armor? Whoa, a lot of segments. But Ceruloid, whoa. I'm curious how this behaves. Is the number of extra armors, is that going to compensate for... Let's try it. Well, I'm not going to get anywhere with that, with a Lancer cannon. I was expecting Minotaur to be as big as Elixir. Yeah, and I'll tell you, although I love the size of... I love these large ships. The reason I didn't want to do it is because I wanted to reserve those kinds of ships, like large ships like this, for crewed ships. Once I add crews, I think that's when you'll be able to buy ships this large. So I wanted the Minotaur to kind of be the largest ship that you could buy without a crew. I don't know if that is going to end up being the right thing or not. The other thing I can do with Minotaur is, what really matters in terms of size is mass. I forgot the mass of the Minotaur, but actually we can probably check. Well, no, I don't think there's one for sale. Let me just try one thing, by the way. Yeah, that's... Oh, no, that does work. Although this is a bug. I gotta fix that. That's a bug. Let's see if this works. Well, I mean, it let me, which is good. Well, there goes the elixir. Oh, I guess because the broker didn't buy it. Once the game supports crew, I plan to enforce crew on the bigger ships too. Yeah, and for now I'm hand waving that. Yeah, I completely agree. I'm just explaining why I didn't make the Minotaur that much larger, because I did want it to eventually. I did want eventually large ships to be available to the player, but not yet. So one thing that I'm happy about. I mean, I may not bring this back. I think player ship drones should, like you said, PM, should use the normal ship broker code. What I would like to do though is, oh, actually, let me just do one thing. Let me do one thing. Let me show you something. And let's see if this works. Where do you have all your ships? Where do you list all your ships? Probably in here. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Let's take ships elixir. Here we go. So you created essentially a base class, and then this is, yeah, for starting. And then, sorry, is that the only class? That's for Eternity Port. If I just add, let me try this, ship broker. And I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to say, I don't know what level it is. I'm just going to make it a low level just so that it shows up. The level thing you don't need to do. Implementing crewed ships would be easy. Just replace all armor shields with a simple green bar that shows your HP. And with cost of repairing to 3 credits per hit point. Okay, let me do this. Let me see if this works. So basically that ship broker attribute is what causes a ship to show up in the ship broker. I believe everything else. I'm not sure if everything else should work actually. I'll. There's other things that I may need to have to do. Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Get out of here! Get out of here! I'm not gonna survive. I should have just sustained. No, I didn't get it. Let me do one more thing. Oh, actually, sorry. Let me do one more thing. Let's go to the ship broker. Which I have no idea where it is. There we go. And, oh, and the dry dock. I want to see the dry dock because I want to see the criteria. It sells Commonwealth. Okay, and so for Elixir, it's, that's it. So we need Commonwealth here. I think everything else might be okay. Let's try it again. It's a Star Control 2 reference. Yeah, no, I totally remember. I know exactly what you're talking about. You gotta admit, the Star Control system, you know, of crew basically being hit points was really clever in that you could use it for a lot of different purposes, right? Like Cyrene ships would start with less than full hit points and it would suck up crew members. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't get it. Didn't get it. Let me just, let's see. I want to make sure this is plus Commonwealth. Oh, sorry. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Plus ship broker. Just want to make sure. I mean, of course this would show up, wouldn't it? I gotta fix this. Nope. Try again. Does anyone see the elixir? Did I screw something up? What did I screw up? Ship broker. What did I screw up? Is it in a different place? It might be Is this the only place where elixir shows up? I'm so confused. Type find should have worked. Oh, there it is. There's elixir. Sorry, I missed it. I'm just hoping that it shows up here. Okay, this is gonna be good. Yes! That's what I was hoping for. Okay, so my point is, and I do have one, is that PM, all you have to do is just add those two. Forget this level for a second. That's just so it showed up on this particular one as opposed to other places. All you have to do is add shipbroker and then whatever other attribute, whatever you want. Basically, right now, dry dock. Well, you can look at the code for dry dock to see what kind of ships it creates, but it's basically Commonwealth, and then for Fortress, it's Commonwealth and military. So this is pretty much all you can do, and they just show up. Yeah, of course you need to do more than that to get PSD to work. I just mean, for these ships alone, I think that's you can get pretty far. You can get pretty far just with that. Like, I should be able to buy this now. Maybe. Let's see if it works. Yeah. And what's another thing that I believe is also going to happen is if I trade it in for this guy again, it goes back to the shipyard, so later on it's available again to buy. Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is all the work you did for all your ships, I don't believe is wasted. I think it's actually quite awesome. Yeah, and it's got your image there, which is cool. So anyway, all right, that's all I wanted to show. I have some more comments about weapon balance, but I'll try to post a new topic instead of Necronola when I have some time to think about it. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I love it. Let me take some other questions. I've been kind of just doing this, but I'm glad I did this. I just wanted to see what would work and what I wanted to see just how far it would work. I like the new broker and ship info screens. I actually saw them this afternoon when I rebuilt the game from Git. Oh, awesome! I'm so glad that you rebuilt it. Yeah, I just pulled in some of your contributions, so thank you. So awesome! I'm glad that you were able to successfully build, and I'm glad that you tried it out and it worked. So awesome! We were just playing with the Minotaur. Okay. Any other questions? I'm just looking back through here. John B. Watson says, in practical terms, the only difference between infinite cargo and 30 cargo is backtracking. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Let's see what else. So my plan right now is I've been just fixing bugs. I'll do an alpha 5. I'm just probably gonna call it beta 1. I'll do 1.8 beta 1 because now with the ship broker stuff, I feel this is feature complete for 1.8. I'm not going to add a ton of new features. It's really just going to be bug fixing and API stuff from now until a real 1.8 release. So I think that's how that's going to go. So I'm very close to releasing the next version. I just want to fix a bunch of bugs, basically as many bugs as I possibly can. I haven't seen the name slots yet, but it seems to need a bit more work under the hood than I expected, but I guess some of it was cleanup. Yeah, a lot of it was cleanup, actually. Let me show that off, actually, because I think that's interesting. Do I have an old Minotaur somewhere around here? Yeah, here. I don't even know if this will work anymore. Okay, here it is. Basically, the way this worked, I don't believe this is... Yeah. I don't believe this is perfect right now. I really need to do some work on it, but on the UI, what I mean. But basically, the way it works is that there's one slot. I'll show you the code. I'm never gonna find it. Oh, sorry, except it's not there. It's in Combo Fleet. Here it is. Okay, so I think you guys can see this. There's basically, you define a device slot, you give it an ID, and if you give it an ID with nothing else, it assumes that only one device can ever fit that slot. There's also a max count attribute that you can have, which will, if you set it to something other than one, means you can add multiple, essentially multiple slots will appear. But if you just say ID top turret, it basically says, or whatever ID you want, doesn't have to be top turret. That ID means only one weapon will ever match this slot, and if you try to install another weapon later, it won't match, and it'll start matching some of these other ones. So the way I've done it is this will match any omnidirectional weapon, and when it matches, you get linked fire and a certain position. And so for the Minotaur, that's this guy. So you notice this omnidirectional weapon has linked fire, but this omnidirectional doesn't. And I can remove this guy, and if I install a new omnidirectional weapon, let's take this guy. Now, essentially, he lands on that slot, that top turret slot, which is, you can kind of see, it's this thing here. And so gets the linked fire. I can also replace, and that keeps the linked fire stuff. But if I add a second, omnidirectional weapon, then it doesn't get linked fire. So that's how you guarantee that only one weapon at a time gets it. So that's how this is going to work. What I might end up doing in the UI, it might be interesting if this slot essentially advertises itself. So right now, for instance, if I remove my launcher, this says launcher slot. It might be interesting that if I remove this guy, it just stays around as turret slot or whatever you name it. So that's something that I think in the UI might be good, but um, that's optional. That's not required. I think the current UI works well enough. I think. Um, there, yeah. Period. Try removing the turbo. Try removing this one. Oh yeah. If I remove this one, this guy does not automatically get, because it's not in that slot. So this guy does not automatically get linked fire. Um, you'd have to basically either remove it and then reinstall it, and then now it gets it. Or like I said, you could replace it. If you replace it, then it's always gonna keep it. And the other thing I did, if you notice, because the position is set, the in this screen, the icon tries to be as close as possible to that position. So you'll kind of know that it's working because it's in this position. If I insert a new one in here, it's not going to be in that position. So when I remove this, you know that this guy is not it's not in the right turret. Another question for the FAQ. Yeah, and that's why I think the UI could use some improvement, just like this missile launcher thing. It might be interesting to, have some way of showing that this is a special slot. Even when there's nothing there. Like in this mode, I think this slot should show up here, and it should be labeled linked fire slot or something like that. So I don't know exactly, but at least the infrastructure is done. The UI, we can fix the UI later. There's also things we can do with the UI to do it. So I'm not too freaked out. And by the way, if I install this guy again, they'll show up there because again that slot is empty. So that's kind of how it works. So this is going to it'll solve this problem, but I think there's other people who wanted to do similar things that I hope it'll work for them too. Hopefully we can get multi-launchers with this someday. I would like to also do that. I would like to get multiple launchers. The big problem there is more the UI. I have to change, and this is not hard. It just has to be done. Change the UI so that tabbing through will tab from one launcher to the next. Right now, it assumes that there's only one launcher, so it won't ever go forward. But yes, absolutely. I think that's one of the things we can fix. So yeah, so that's the plan. I do kind of like the look of it, but man, it's do I have a mission? Let's fight. I'll probably try to update PSD with that new feature with device slot and IDs. Yeah, I bet you there's a bunch of ships that I think that would fit with. So I'm all for it. Oh, let me show one more thing for those of you modding, just because I think it might be relevant. Just grow this a little bit here. So you can see some more. The way I've done this now in terms of designing classes, this Minotaur class is basically, I think of it as the base class, and everything else inherits from this. And the base class just happens to inherit from human tech ships, which doesn't have very much other than the generic displays for power and targeting. But other than that, it doesn't do very much. But I've put all the hull values and limits in this class, in kind of the base Minotaur class. And so, all the armor limits, all the reactor limits, all the cargo space limits, they're all defined here. All the device slots, importantly, are defined here, so you don't have to define them anywhere else. And all the this doesn't. This is just kind of default configuration, but you don't care. And the image is obviously defined here. So now, when I have the player version of this, let's look at the player version of this. I inherit from Minotaur, and I get for free all the device slot stuff, all the armor limits, everything, and all I have to specify is the configuration, and then some player settings for the for this stuff. So this makes it a lot easier for the playership class. In a way, this system is kind of inverted from how I used to have it, but I feel this is going to be going to make things easier. So for instance, I even have a different version of the Minotaur, a Minotaur/M, and that inherits from the base Minotaur because the only difference is just configuration stuff. It's also got a different image, but who cares? It's just different configuration. But this class still inherits all these same limits, and it inherits all the same device slots. So I don't have to keep on adding the device slot over and over again. So that's that. I think it really cleans things up a lot. Yeah, period. It just cleans things up a lot. It makes it a lot easier. So, but of course, I haven't done this for all the ships. Like, if you go back to here's the Britannia class, I haven't done any of that. So this is because I'd have to come up with values for all the standard armor and all the limits. This is the stuff where maybe PM and others can kind of break the ground there and figure out what the right values are for some of those other classes that aren't included in vanilla. PSD would probably be one of the first to set up values for Britannia or something. I don't know. We'll see. What does Minotaur M look like? Let's show it. It's basically it looks kind of like the fleet colors. Let me just do that. So it's in that kind of gray green fleet color. It almost looks like a mini Aquila. I'll be honest, I wasn't in. I like how it turned out. It's a very conventional shape. The wedge kind of cone shape. But since the Aquila kind of has the same shape, I think it almost feels like it matches. Yeah, it's a darker, more serious version. I mean, the fleet ships in general, use muted colors, and it's the civilian ships that have kind of a little bit more color. So that is kind of how I did it. Right now I'm trying to finish. PM says right now I'm trying to finish Drake Tech update, which I'm very excited for. So cool. I think that's awesome. Whoa, Britannia's. Oh geez, they're gonna wreak havoc. All those missiles. Will we be able to buy one at Point Juno? Let me double. I haven't yet done the Point Juno place, but yes, there is here's an M class that's available as a shipbroker. It's Commonwealth military, so that'll be available either at a fortress that's at level 6 or above, or Point Juno. I think Point Juno. I don't think I did Point Juno yet, but I should. I should, because I agree it should be available there. Like I said, though, I mean, again, playing with this, I feel like I really need to. Where is Point Juno? I really feel like I need to up the. Oh, it's probably in the fleet stuff. I really need to up the capabilities of the Minotaur, because it's just a little too. Whoa. While we're here, let's. Fighting a bunch of constellations. That's not gonna go well for the constellations. Okay, let me look at Point Juno. No, I don't have the ship broker yet. So I will. Oops. Here it is. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna add it right now because I kind of gotta go. But I spent this past week rebalancing my tracking weapons with plus 100 instead of plus 50. How did that work out? I'm curious how you felt that worked. Whether that still feels like it's good or not. I'm curious about that. I think you're right. I think it needs to be balanced at plus 100. But I'm curious how it came out. Did you see my comments about dual weapons and slot locations? No, I did not. I did not. Sorry. I presume. Is it one of these? Is this one of the ones or no? Oh, on Twitch. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. The multi-shot probably is nice, but I think we really need one especially for dual and alternating because the shots come from separate points. Oh, whereas something like Ion Flame emits from one place. I think that's right. I think that's right. I mean, I mostly, and I'm happy to add that. I don't have a problem adding that. I'm mostly what I'm doing is for the ships that have an offset weapon, like the Manticore, where the weapon is on one arm. Basically, whenever it's a dual weapon, I just move it to the center. So I'm not sure that's any different between like the Ion Flame. I probably still would want the Ion Flame to come out of the center, even though technically it is coming out of a point. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's okay. Maybe we need if you can come up with the name of a property that means, you know, wide origin versus point origin or something, then I'm happy to add one. I ran a hearing out of shield close without its own shields going down. Oh, that's cool. Could you fix POS Z not working for slot locations? Oh, that's a good idea. I should fix that. Try installing a dual weapon on the Minotaur. I'm guessing it won't. It doesn't look good. Yeah, that's right. That's right, and that's again. I think that's only because I'm missing. I just need one extra device slot. I need a device slot here that basically checks for essentially multi-shot and just centers it instead of putting it out on the arm here. So yeah, I think that's right. Although, you know, we should try it because I don't think the Minotaur is wide enough that it may not be that bad. Oh wait, I gotta finish a mission. Well, I don't have to do it now. Oh, in fact, I can't do it now. I gotta leave. So, alright, never mind. I will do it. I will try that. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. It's a little bit past my time to get dinner ready, so I'm gonna get going. But thank you as always for watching. We had a pretty decent crowd here. Um, I still would like to do some kind of Twitch, like IRC/Twitch session next, and maybe try to pull in Discord. I don't know how we're gonna pull in Discord, but I've been talking to T-Tech about it. Maybe there's a way that we can set that up. So in any case, we'll plan that offline, and then next week, if we can set it up in time, we'll do that. If not, I mean, I can come up with other content. We can do other stuff. There's a bunch of stuff I'd love to talk about. By then, I hope to have released the next version, so hopefully we'll have stuff to talk about. But in any case, thanks again. Thank you very much, and I will see you all next week. All right, thanks.